What's up, guys? It's your boy Orion Force Gaming here, coming at you with my very first YouTube video. Today, we have a bit of a non-unique video, but an important one, I think, nonetheless. We're going to be talking about all of the new Season of the Splicer weapons that dropped this season, last Tuesday. And we're going to be giving my opinion on the roles and what I would consider God roles. Please note that most of this is subjective, but this is to give people who aren't as familiar with the game or as familiar with certain perks a good idea of what they should shoot for. Because you'd hate to spend tons and tons of shards and materials trying to get items, and then turns out you don't like the role. So, I'm here to save you a bit of that trouble. So, ignoring the two exotics, obviously we know Cryosthesia and Vex are coming, or I should say, are in the database now. So we'll start off with, it seems like, the three swords here. Now, swords are in a bit of a weird place because most sorting that's done is usually ended up using, you end up using like Lament or Falling Guillotine. That's been the meta for a while. Solaris Scar came in really interestingly with Chain Reaction. That was a bit of fun, but I don't think people went to it as a sort of, go-to for DPS. So these three reprised class swords have a bit to prove. So obviously, we're going to start with Crown Splitter. It's a legendary sword for the Titan exclusively. It's an aggressive frame, so you launch a heavy slam attack, and it makes heavy attack stronger with full energy. This is very unique. There's a unique animation, unique animal economy, everything. So, right off the bat, we can see Vorpal up here, but let's look at the base stats. So, swing speed. I mean, honestly, it's kind of a nothing stat. Impact definitely matters because that's like your base amount of damage you do. So that's pretty much the only one that really matters here. I suppose efficiency too, if you care about energy. But ammo capacity. Ammo capacity, 48. Now I don't know if that boosts with the mods, but if it does, that'll put it up anywhere around from like I think 50 to 54. So already it's got a bit lower than something like Falling Guillotine or Lament. No, I think Lament actually caps it somewhere around 64 or something along there. But so those are the base stats. Let's get into what I care about personally, which are the perks. So this is what Light GG has as the curator role: Tempered Edge, Heavy Guard, Relentless Strike, and Vorpal. So Tempered gives you that increase in sword damage and ammo, so that's always nice. It's a good balance. Heavy Guard, I don't know why they put that as a god roll. It lowers your charge rate. Not sure I'm a fan of that. Relentless Strikes, always a good perk. Always gonna be a good perk as long as it's put on swords. Free ammo's always gonna be broken. So, Vorpal, fantastic perk for boss DPS. And I guess if you want to go 1v1 a land tank, but absolutely amazing perk for boss DPS, without a doubt. So besides those two, it can also get Tireless Blade, so sword ammo granted for every other powered sword kill. So not as good, or yeah, it's not as good as Relentless Strikes. Strikes, you just need hits. You don't need kills. So just a subpar version of that. Then you have Flash Counter. I haven't seen this be meta in a very long time, so I would put that under the table. And interestingly enough, this thing can get Thresh in the first column, which honestly is kind of cool. I like that. But the question becomes, is Thresh better than getting free sword ammo? We'll have to see. But, yeah, so this first column, very interesting. Second column, like I said, Vorpal. Then you have Whirlwind Blade, which has pretty much been the go-to for any sword worth its salt. Where when you stack sword strikes, you get bonus damage. Pairs really well with relentless strikes because you can get more attacks off. Surrounded, which does have a spec, but I feel like it's fallen out of favor in the past couple seasons with some people. Aside from being used on the Icarus SMG, you don't really see it a lot else. So, and then we have counterattack. Until this gets buffed, it's going to be kind of a dead perk. It's just too conditional compared to the other perks in the list. So, but for me, I think my personal god roll would be Tempered Edge, Relentless Strikes, and then Vorpal. The reason why I say Vorpal over something like Whirlwind Blade is it just requires more ammo to get your maximum DPS with Whirlwind. So if you could do that, just have like as soon as the DPS phase starts, and you just whip out your sword and you have Vorpal, you're good. So yeah, we go Tempered Edge, Relentless Strikes, Vorpal Weapon. Definitely very good perks. Very, very good perks. And this is like the community role, so people, the stuff that people have been keeping. And while the first two are a little different, because it's always gonna have heavy guard. Um, actually didn't realize that until just now. Okay, that's why it's on the god roll. um, yeah, the people like Hungry Edge. I prefer Tempered, but honestly, the blade itself is probably the most flexible part about the sword. As you can see, Relentless Vorpal. It's kind of the consensus. So that's Crown Splitter. I'll give you a nice little image here. Very, very classic D2's weapon. Very fun. So we'll go back and we'll head over to Quick Fang. So Quick Fang. Quick Fang, Quick Fang, Quick Fang. It just makes you faster. I mean, keeping it simple, it has a heavy attack. It dashes you. They're stronger full energy. And it's lightweight. So it's innately going to give you that lightweight bonus. As you can see, it's kind of the same deal here with the blades. I would still go for Tempered, but a little weird on the perks. So if you look here, see we have Thresh in the first column. We have Assassin's Blade, which I don't even remember if this was a perk. I can't tell if this is a new one or not. It probably is. I just don't remember. But getting kills boosts movement speed and damage. Depending on the damage bump, that could be really good for mob clearing. This sword in general, I feel like, is just going to be a mob clearing sword because it can also get one for all. So it doesn't really have anything for like sustained boss DPS. So my personal god roll, Tempered Edge, Relentless Strikes, either Assassin's Blade or One for All, because I'm going to be rolling for an ad clear variant. Unguard's cool, but depending on the damage bonus, I don't know if it's worth swapping back and forth. So that's Quick Fang. Now let's move on to in my opinion, the most interesting sword out of the bunch. Eternity's Edge. So OG Eternity's Edge was just a normal, base game sword. You use your heavy attack, you do an uppercut like a raise lighter in D1. That was it. They changed it. Now it's a vortex frame, and if that rings a bell, that's because Falling Guillotine is also a vortex frame. So we now have a solar Falling Guillotine. So this could be pretty big. Although, do note, they did just nerf the ammo economy on vortex frames. Now they consume more heavy ammo when they do their heavy attack. So let's get into it. Again, blades are pretty much all the same. I would go Tempered. You're more than welcome to do Honed, which is some people do. I do Tempered. First column. You have interesting choices. Thresh is pretty interesting. Like I said, Tireless is just the worst version of Relentless. So, again, Relentless is the clear winner here. You clearly want Relentless surrounded, in my opinion. That would be the god roll for me. Or if you want to add clearing one, you could always go with Assassin's Blade. Like I said, Flash Counter and Counterattack are just too conditional. So, let me do that. So, yeah, the god roll would be, yeah. I mean, people are preferring Assassin's Blade. I'm assuming because of a lot of the encounters in Destiny incentivize ad clear. But for me, like, I would just go Relentless Surrounded with a surrounded spec. So that's Eternity's Edge. Really cool that we have a solar variant of Guillotine now. Really, really nice. So let's move on. Chroma Rush. I've been absolutely loving this gun. So it's a legendary kinetic auto, rapid fire frame, 720. We haven't had a set of a 720 since Steel Feather Repeater, and it was Sunset back. I believe it was season. Yeah, when Beyond Light came out. So season. Beyond Light season 12? It was. Beyond Light was season 12. Correct. My brain works. So, very nice to have another one of these in the game. Always love the archetype. Um, yeah, let's just get into it. So, barrels, and for reference, most of my rolls are going to be for PVE. I might do a PvP video separately, or I might bring up weapons that have really good PvP rolls and really good base stats. But I'm not a big PvPer. I'm more of a PvE guy. So, if you want PvP god rolls, look no further than Aztecross. Guy's a legend. Absolutely love his content. But here be we'll be more looking at PvE. Sorry to bring that up mid video. It's a little weird, but you know. So barrels for PvE, honestly, things like range and I would even argue like sometimes handling, they don't really matter that much. They do, but you don't need to like get those stats all the way maxed out. So for me, I'm a simple guy. I like things like chambered, things like just a flat hammer forge rifling is always nice. So barrels, I mean, honestly, pick whichever you like. Like if you like high handling, go for it. If you like high stability, go for it. If you like my range, go for it. Barrels are pretty flexible, especially because it's an auto and it's a 720, so it already has a pretty healthy range. Magazines, pretty much best ones here are going to be appended, tactical, and extended. This is going to be your workhorse. You want it to work as much as possible before you got to reload it. So personally, I would go for either extended or appended. Really depends on the role, which we'll get into, or on the perks, which we'll get into now. So, like I just said, extended or appended, it depends. I would want appended on something like a feeding frenzy roll, where each rapid kill with this weapon progressively increases reload speed. Um, Mainly because I'm not getting that neg reload speed from the extended mag, so I can be at my optimal time. And you pair that with something like Kill Clip or Rampage or even the new Adrenaline Junkie, you're good. So same thing with extended. I would rock extended if it was like a subsistence roll because it doesn't really matter because the bigger your magazine, the more that 17% gives you. So definitely look for that. But yeah, the first column you have a new perk, Heating Up, which is interesting. I don't think it's too good for PvE. Some people say, oh, it turns into a laser. For me, 720s are already pretty much a laser because I play on mouse and keyboard, so I don't really notice that. But I mean, to each their own. But so heating up is pretty decent. Moving target's always going to be more crucible heavy, which is nice. Feeding Frenzy, very good PvE perk. Did get a nerf a couple seasons ago, I believe. But still very fantastic for ad clearing. Tunnel Vision. Reloading after defeating a target greatly increases target acquisition and aim down sight speed. That could work, but I mean, like again, that's mostly like a PvP role in my opinion. Dynamic Sway. Dynamic Sway is not bad in PvE. It's just not great. And like honestly, I would just prefer either reload perk or subsistence. So, and finally, subsistence, which is in my opinion the winner in this whole tree because it did get a buff to where you don't get a hit to your ammo reserves anymore. So, it's literally just free bullets in the magazine if you get a kill. I believe it's 17% for every weapon. Yeah. So bigger your magazine, the more you get. And I think the base mag is 51. So you get a plus 30 to that, you're going to be rocking like a 60 something magazine. It's going to be really good. Fourth column perks. So this is where it gets a little interesting because now you have some options. So we'll start off with the new perk, Adrenaline Junkie. I've actually tested this myself. Grenade final blows grant bonus damage and handling for a moderate duration. Adrenaline Junkie, it's weird because it works kind of like Rampage, but longer. So you can get stacks of it. I believe it goes up to, I think the highest I got was 5 or 6. I don't remember exactly. But it comes in stacks, and it doesn't have like a timer countdown or anything on the screen. It's just you have the stacks of a buff. And it depends on the final blows you get with your grenade. So, say for instance, I'm a top tree Nova Bomb. Excuse me. And I toss out a nade. and I get a triple kill. I now have Adrenaline Junkie times 3. That's basically like Rampage times 3, except it lasts 10 seconds, and it can be refreshed. So if you're rocking something like Controverse Holds, or Controverse Hold, I don't know if it's plural or not, can't remember. Before that buff even expires, there's a chance you could have your grenade back and just throw another one, and it will just refresh the buff. So it definitely has some potential. We'll have to see how popular it is, because it's a very fun perk. It's very unique too. I like it because yes, it's conditional, but it's conditional in a sense where you in PvE you're gonna throw nades, you're gonna get nade kills, so it's just more of like a bonus. And then if you build around it, it's even better. Tap the trigger could be good in Crucible. Not like I said, not a big PvE player, but in PvP player. But in PvE, I don't see this really being picked over anything else. Kill clip. Kill clip for me is like honestly, it's synonymous with Rampage, and I know there's like a little difference in between the damages, and one's only 1 kill, and the other one's, 3. But this one, the kill clip is always going to be more PvP friendly than it will be PvE, right? Because you're going to be able to kill 3 dudes no problem, but 1 dude easy money. And the most annoying part that gets people is you have to reload after every kill. So that's one of the annoying parts about it. But kill clip's still a very good perk. Definitely look out for it. Very, very good on this weapon. Rampage. Rampage is fantastic. It will always be fantastic. Even after they nerfed it, still fantastic. So definitely keep an eye out for Rampage. Very good perk. Thresh. Killing combatants gives you a little super energy. This can be good in any super base builds. So, you get if you're a Geolock and you're just maxing out intellect and you're just zooming around trying to get your super as fast as possible, Thresh is fantastic. Great perk. Aside from that, I really wouldn't use it just over any of these other damage perks. Wellspring. So, when Beyond Light came out, Wellspring had a bit of time to shine. It was mostly with like the Deepstone Crypt weapons, because I know I think the Trustee could roll with Surplus and Wellspring, which is a really good combo, because you use your abilities, and then as you're getting kills, you're getting them back, and it's improving your gun's reload speed. And it was a really decent combo. In fact, I still have that roll in my vault. We're kind of moving back towards damage perks, because for when Beyond Light came out, they moved away from a lot of like just straight up damage perks. It was way more conditional ones. So, but now we're moving back to that. So I don't really know how it's going to hold up compared to like Rampage, Kill Clip, or even Adrenaline Junkie, to be honest. So, with all those fancy schmancy words being said, what would be Orion's God roll? Like I said, barrels, I don't really mind. So I'd probably go with Hammer Forge Rifling for that bump in range, just to get my kill potential a little further. I'd go Extended Mag, that huge magazine. Subsistence, just so I never run out of ammo on kills. And of course, Rampage. I mean, this is a dream. I mean, the amount of reloading you'll have to do is possibly minimal. So this would be fantastic. You slap a Rampage spec on it, you have an actual workhorse. So that would be my God roll. That's Chroma Rush. Very good auto. Let's move on. Nice. Next we have Ignition Code. So Ignition Code is a legendary kinetic. We haven't had one of these in forever. The last one I even remember was like Malicious Birthright. And that was from the Lake of Shadows. It was a unique that dropped. They should really bring those back with random rolls. That'd be interesting. Wait, I think they did bring those back with random rolls. Hold on. I can check live for us. If I can spell. Yeah, it did have random rolls, but they were these perks kind of suck. If they brought back Malicious Birthright, that'd be dope. But anyways, Ignition Code. Legendary Kinetic Grenade Launcher. Some very enticing rolls here. Some very enticing. The launches, I always go hard launch. I know people don't like the lack in blast radius, but to me, this isn't. I'm not going to use this to add clear. I'm gonna mostly use this to down majors and bosses whenever my heavy is down or I got anarchy ticks on them or something. So I don't mind the neg blast radius. So hard launch would definitely be my pick in this column. This column. So off the bat, best one's gonna be spike. Second one's gonna be high velocity, just because of the nature of that. I don't really like proxy grenades because it already has like a you hold the trigger and you release it type deal. So I don't really need that because it kind of you have like control proxy nades, so we don't really need that. The rest of them are whatever. Blinding nades could see some play in like GMs if you need to blind something or whatever, but negs that blast radius ridiculously. So spike nades wins in this column for me. This column is where you get kind of interesting. And I know Lucky 10P made a video on this, and it was really silly. I was actually really inspired to farm one of these out. I haven't gotten one yet, but wish me luck. So, field prep. Field prep's always solid. Like at this point, I feel like field prep's just a solid perk on a special or a heavy. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't help as much as like these other perks do, but it definitely doesn't hurt to have more ammo in your reserves. And the crouching with reload, stow, and ready, it's pretty noticeable. You just have to make it a habit of making sure you crouch when you reload. Which I know feels awkward, but once you get used to it, it's not that bad. Slide shot. This perk is ridiculous on this thing. So, slide shot says sliding partially reloads this magazine and temporarily boosts its range and stability. We don't really care about range and stability. It says partially here, but it just fully reloads the mag for this thing because it's friggin' 1. So you slide, you get your grenade launcher, your grenade shot back. So theoretically, you could slide side to side during a boss phase and never have to reload this thing. It's going to pair really well with the new seasonal mod that gives you bonus damage and reloads all your other weapons. Because now you can take something like a rocket, dump a shot, swap to your nade launcher, dump a couple shots, swap back to your rocket, dump a shot, and you can just loop back and forth, and that's really broken. So, without a doubt, immediately, even looking at everything else in this perk, or in this column, slide shot wins. Slide shot is the best perk, without a doubt. You just have to get used to the play style of it because it's a little different than what you're used to. Definitely a little different. Might take some getting a hang of, but if you can min-max this to the utmost, you will be absolutely cracked, without a doubt. Surplus. Surplus to me is in second place. Like, it's the second best slide shot. So the reason why I say that is because it bumps that handling, reload speed, and stability for each charged ability. And just getting a bump to reload speed, honestly, on weapons like this is really good. If you can get that reload speed short, you can, increase your DPS. So Surplus would be my second pick on this list. Ambitious Assassin would be my third pick. It's very good for ad clearing. I don't know how. I don't know how I feel about it with majors because I do, because you can kill a trash ad and then have 2 shots for a major, but I feel like I don't down majors in 2 nade shots, even with spike nades. I don't know. Maybe I'm alone in that, but still, even then, it's a very good perk. Highly recommend it. On a certain variant of this, which I'll tell you about. Quick draw. That's more of a PvP thing. Not a big fan of it in PvE, so we'll pass over it. Lead from Gold, which isn't showing up here. Okay, there we go. Whoops. Lead from Gold is a weird perk, man. So, picking up heavy ammo gives ammo to this weapon. So, I don't know why you would be running this pretty much without a grenade launcher weapon or ammo finder. I guess if you can't afford it, but I mean, compared to everything else in here, it just doesn't hold up. Honestly, so honestly, the winner here is gonna be slide shot. Fantastic perk. Final column. Final column is interesting. So we've pretty much got 3 perks that I would say are must-haves. Must-have variants for this even. So right off the bat, Vorpal, stand out. One for All, stand out. Frenzy, stand out. Threshes can be good. Demo can be good. Danger Zone's a new perk. We don't know the numbers yet, but this could be good for ad control as well. So, I mean, if I had to rank them just off the top of my head, I would say Vorpal, One for All Frenzy. I only say that because you can proc One for All twice, or almost twice, in the span it takes to start Frenzy. So, but still, these three are the best. And in my opinion, the absolute god role for me would be, again, hard launch, spike nades, slide shot, and Vorpal weapon. And yeah, that would be absolutely disgusting. So that's that's the ignition code. Very, very cool kinetic grenade launcher. So moving on, and I will be covering the vault of glass weapons in this video too. So spoilers. We got Fatebringer. Fatebringer's back, real shiny. Don't remember, but I guess that's just a new engine at work. So 140 hand cannon. So we had Palindrome last season. It's the same archetype. So very healthy stats. Let's just get into it. I mean, you already know my deal with barrels. I don't really mind them, but absolute, I guess, Hammer Forge would be good. Magazines, I'm going extended all the way. Extended tack or appended, of course, whichever one you get. Reround around. So this is a perk that's on all the Vogue weapons. Very interesting perk. So when this weapon's magazine is empty, it refills from reserves based on a number of hits. We don't know what the ratio is of returned bullets. If it's 1-to-1, that's going to really break some weapons. We'll see here in a minute. But on Fatebringer, that could be really good because it's not kills, it's hits. And it's less conditional than something like triple tap. So could be very, very interesting. So keep an eye on that one. Definitely want to look for a roll with that. Killing Wind. I mean, 140s are kind of in a weird place in the Crucible. And if I were to take a 140 in the Crucible, it would be my quick draw rangefinder Palindrome, pretty much exclusively. That thing just has way healthier stats than the Fatebringer, and its recoil is like really, really nice. So that's how I feel about Killing Wind. Tunnel Vision, you know how I feel. Kind of a Crucible trait. Osmosis. This could be good in certain like GM match game situations. Very interesting, and it kind of pairs awkwardly, but it's kind of funny. You can run it with Adrenaline Junkie if you really want to go all in on that grenade gameplay. But it has its utilities, but it's definitely not the best in slot here. Thresh. Like I said, it's always nice to get a little bit of your super. If you build around it, it can be good, but by itself, it's kind of meh. And we have something unique here. We have explosive payload in the first slot. That's really good. I don't know if people realize, but that pretty much effectively gives your gun unlimited range, darn near, like pretty close. Like, yes, it still technically has fall off because half of the damage is falling off, but you still get that other half that never falls off, so that's really good. And it's in the first column, so it leaves the second column open for some pretty funny stuff. Fourth column. Did I say second? I meant fourth column. But yeah, on to the fourth column, speaking of. We have Eye of the Storm. That's always been a Crucible thing to me. I've never really used it in PvE that much. I've always kind of just hung around and, played around with it, but it's never been that good. So, definitely not what I'd go for in this column. Kill Clip. Like I said earlier, Kill Clip is just an easier to proc Rampage. The only difference is you have to reload after every kill, so it has a little more downtime. That's fine, but I mean, still fantastic perk. Frenzy, pretty decent perk. It's only 15% damage now, by the way, but you still get that bump to reload and handling. And as long as you're shooting an enemy or they're shooting you, Frenzy's gonna stay on. So that could be pretty good. Still not the best in this column, though, if I had to be honest. Opening shot, Crucible, 100%, without a doubt. Like I said, not a big Crucible guy though, so look for that if you prefer it. Adrenaline Junkie, same deal. Adrenaline Junkie can be good if you build for it. Okay when you don't, but definitely not what I'd pick in this column for just a general role to just throw on and run around and kill stuff. Oh, Firefly, how we missed you. Or not really missed you, but saw you get put on an exotic and then shipped. This is OG Firefly, and for anyone here who hasn't played OG D1, this perk is a beaut. So, a lot of people don't know this, or maybe I forgot. I can't tell which one it is, to be honest. I don't remember Firefly giving you bonus reload speed, like on the saying it on the perk. I always heard it was like a secret perk for guns. But now it's on here. It says precision kills with this weapon increase reload speed and cause the target to explode, dealing solar damage. Specifies that solar damage, so now you can deal solar with a kinetic, basically, through jumping through like one hoop, which is hitting a precision kill. But yeah, this is really good. This is probably the best perk in this entire column, to be honest. Now, for GMs, would I take it? Probably not. It's just not reliable enough to get kills. GMs, I'd either go like something super, super reliable. Like, honestly, Frenzy. Frenzy would be my go-to GM perk for this. But yeah, outside of GMs, Firefly is the best, without a doubt. This thing is absolutely cracked. I'm happy. And it's on all the Vault of Glass weapons, too. So definitely going to be farming for rolls on those. So, what would be Orion's God roll, you say? Easy answer for me. Hammer Forged, Extended Mag. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Hold on. Because there's two God rolls for me. And they kind of go the same path. So, for me, I'd go... My first God roll would be Hammer Forged, Extended Mag, Rewind Rounds, Firefly. Without a doubt. That way, you have that big-ass mag. You have... I believe that puts it up to 13 shots. 13 or 12 shots, I can't remember. And if that's a 1-to-1, that's really good. And, you get your precision kills. It's bumping reload speed, even though it doesn't really matter. Or depending on how much you get back, that could matter, because eventually you'll just run out of bullets in the magazine. So that can be really good. So yeah, rerun rounds, Firefly. But then my other God roll would be, Hammer Forged. I would actually go... Honestly, I'd actually go something like Tactical Mag. Because it's less hitting that reload speed. I would go Tac Mag. So Hammer Forged, Tac Mag, Explosive Payload, Firefly. Kind of like the best of both worlds, And, yeah, that would be, to me, another God roll. So, that's Fatebringer. It's an OG. Excuse me. It's an OG. Definitely going to grind this one out. Definitely recommend everyone else does too. I'm not going to cover the time loss variants of these weapons, so don't worry about that. Onto the Crucible Hand Cannon. Survivor's Epitaph, if I can speak English properly. Legendary Kinetic Hand Cannon. Very, 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 very good. We need more kinetics. I've been saying this for a while. It's a precision frame, so it's a 180. Some people don't like that, but some people love it. So this is definitely a lot of perks, and I don't want to cover every single one. So I'll just tell you what I would take for PVE. Because in PVE, I don't even really like using 180s, but if you do, it has some positives about it. So off the bat, Hammer Forge, Extended Mag, Subsistence, Damage perk. That could be Multi, Frenzy, Adrenaline Junkie, One for All, High Impact Reserves, or just normal kill clip. Rapid Hit also works pretty good here. Feeding Frenzy works good here. Ambitious can work. Outlaw can work. Surplus can work. You'd have so many options here. Honestly, my God roll personally, I would just go for something classic. I'd do like Hammer Forged, Extended, Subsistence, Rampage. Or not Rampage, One for All. That's kind of where I'm landing on it. So that's Survivor's Epitaph. Kind of a quick one because there's so many friggin' rolls on it. So let's move on. Another D1 OG has returned, and that is Hung Jury. It has an Adept version. So just imagine all these stats a little bit more. This season can be very good because of the anti-barrier mods this season, which are Auto Rifle and Scout. We'll speed this up a little. This video is already, 30 minutes in or something? So we'll just go with the stuff I already know. Hammer Forged. For this, I would personally go. I got two roles in my head, like last time. One for GMs and then one for like non-GM content. So my non-GM content would be Hammer Forge, Extended Mag, Subsistence, Firefly. Pretty simple. But then my GM content would be Hammer Forge, Tactical, what is that? Rapid Hit, Explosive Payload. Because just dealing with those barriers is really easy. So that's Hung Jury. Gonna farm my ass off for this. Love it. It's gonna be absolutely fantastic when it comes out. Hopefully next reset. Please, Bungie. Thank you. Yeah, Hung Jury has a lot of good roles, but those two are the ones I'm mainly gonna be chasing for. So, all right. Moving on, we have Reese Walker, which is the new Iron Banner shotgun, which is kind of weird because it's fallen base, but there's lore behind it. Go watch a bike video. It's a lightweight. PVE, these really don't matter. Like, honestly, this is a PvP weapon, pretty much. I mean, you can get surplus Vorpal, and that would work pretty well. Or maybe, like, surplus Swash or Demo. But outside of those, this one's kind of a meh. But yeah, that's Reese Walker. So let's move on. Wait, did I incorrectly? Okay, no, I didn't skip anything. Okay, I thought I skipped something. Let's talk about Farewell. Let's talk about sidearms. Sidearms are in kind of a weird spot right now. There's definitely some bangers. Like, Last Hope is still good. Like, I don't know if it got sunset or not, but that 3-round burst archetype is still very good. If you can get a reload perk, plus damage perk, very good archetype. I think the one I had like full auto frenzy or something like that. Yeah, full auto frenzy. And it was pretty decent. It got me through my exotic Cryosthesia's Catalyst quest step. So very, very, very good. Well, like I said, we'll speed this up because it's already getting a little long. For me, you already know Barrel. It's definitely Hammer Forged. This sidearm though only has 15 in the magazine, so I don't know how much extended mag would affect it. Like, to me, off the bat, this is a workhorse weapon, so I would go extended mag, subsistence, something like multi kill clip, frenzy, or even adrenaline junkie. That's the farewell though. Very, very cool. I love the little design of these weapons this season as well. But sidearms are gonna be sidearms. Not much you can do about it. Praetus Revenge. Perfect. Okay. So, I'm aware there's a different variant of these. The time loss ones. They aren't out yet, and I have no clue what they're coming from, but I'm assuming it's going to be hard mode or master, or however they want to call it. But, yeah, this is Praetus Revenge. Another D1 OG. Very good. That's some pretty interesting. It has rewind rounds. So, rewind rounds. I haven't heard one person in the Destiny community that could say that right. Blah, blah, blah. Say that 5 times fast. And it has 5 in the mag at base. So, you get an extended mag, you can get up to 6? I believe 6, yeah. 6 rounds, so depending on how much you get refunded, this could be better than triple tap. Like, just straight up. Only downside is it can't roll Vorpal, which I think is a big kind of a slap. No, not a slap, there's a big hit on it. But it can roll Frenzy. So it's a little more conditional Vorpal if the boss during DPS hits you. Looking at you, Tanix. I just feel like I never get hit by that guy. But yeah, honestly, the winner though, what I consider the god roll would be like barrels. I really don't care. It could be like Hammer Forge or something. It's a sniper, as long as it does its effective DPS. Honestly, the winner for me is gonna be extended rewind rounds and high impact actually. Because high impact, depending on how rewind, it really depends on how this new perk works. Because if it's like, oh, you hit 6 shots, here's half type deal, that could be really good for something like high impacts. Like if it gives you half of the shots you hit by the end of your magazine, you could stay at the bottom of that mag pretty long. We have to see. But if rewind is just a 1-to-1, even then high impacts will still be really good. High impact and frenzy definitely. The other perks are kind of meh. I mean, it can roll Firefly, but For like boss DPS, I probably wouldn't use it for that. Because that's mainly what I'm using this for, is boss DPS. You pop 2 anarchies on the homie and you just start wailing at him. So that's Praetor's Revenge. Really cool OG sniper. Really gonna enjoy that. Next up is the number. I actually got a decent roll of this today. Yeah. So it's a precision frame, 450 arc, just like Shadow Price. So energy. All right. This one I'll just give my god roll. I won't go over every single perk. Didn't realize how time consuming that was. Hammer Forged, obviously. Extended mag. Actually, I wouldn't go extended. I would go appended. I would just go appended. Hammer Forge, appended, surplus, one for all. That's my god roll. I would take like either reload or handling masterwork because those are pretty low. So that's my god roll number, or what I'd want for it. So whatever you like on it though, get out there and get her done. That's what I would go for though. All right. This I don't even know why I'm talking about this. This is a static roll. PVE, you pretty much want to always use Feeding Frenzy, Reservoir Burst. These two are for Crucible. Don't use those if you're playing in PVE. There you go. Problem solved. Plug 1. So this is the current Nightfall weapon. So this is what you should be farming for. Because people are sleeping on it. And most people get Null Composure and they're like, oh, okay, I'm done. No. So Null Composure is a faster firing fusion. So it has less impact, I believe less range as well. And overall, it's different. It's like the polar opposite of like Loaded Question. If you want something closer to Loaded Question, not exactly. It is an archetype, I believe, above it or under it. I can't remember. You can go for Plug 1.1. So it's a 740 charge time. So it's got a pretty beefy charge time. And yeah, this thing can get some insane perks. So again, just going off of in my head what I know, God roll is going to be Hammer Forged, Feeding Frenzy, Reservoir. Pretty much the same exact as Null, but you get that different archetype. Bigger magazine as well, I believe. Batteries, you want a smaller magazine because that way you can stay topped off more. So that's Plug 1.1. Farm for it, get it. You got, what is it? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. You got 3-ish days, a little less than 3 days probably to get it. So get it, love it. It's gonna be fantastic fusion for PVE, especially those arc burns. Trust me, you'll want it. All right, moving on. Next we got Empty Vessel. Empty vessel. Empty vessel. All right. So this is a legendary energy grenade launcher, and it's another lightweight. So you shoot it and you fire to release, or you release to detonate. Blah, I can't speak English. This one you get a lot of perks too. So I'm just gonna tell you my god roll because your boy likes saving time. You can yell at me in the comments if you want. It is my first video, so cut me some slack here, guys. Come on. Hard launch, very good. Spike nades, very good. Auto loading, very good. Yeah, I just feel like my go-to would be hard launch, spike, auto loading, Vorpal. There, you got it. That's Empty Vessel. Get it from Strikes with a really crappy drop rate. So go for it. The new Iron Banner hand cannon. I've been hearing good talks about this one. I'm not a big PvP guy though, so this one's probably gonna go over me. This is gonna be pretty quick. If you don't have a Palindrome or a Fatebringer by the time this comes around, or close to when this comes around, don't even bother farming for this unless you play Crucible. But if I had to pick a role, I would do Ricochet rounds. I would do like Ricochet rounds, Killing Wind, One for All. Yeah, it's kind of not a good PvE weapon though, but there, that's my god roll, or if you want to call it, I wouldn't even consider it a god roll, but you know, is what it is. Grid Skipper. This is another weapon I was kind of disappointed with. Not because the perks are bad. I'm just mad that it didn't have a reload perk in the first column. So, but it does have a pretty nice reload speed. So if you get something like appended, that's the best of both worlds. For me, without a doubt, probably best role is gonna be Hammer Forged, appended, probably Killing Wind or Heating Up with multi-kill clip. Adrenaline Junkie and Frenzy are good too. Like I said, just a little more conditional. Multi-kill clip, you get kills, things happen, it's good. That's the Grid Skipper. Actually, probably my favorite looking weapon out of all of them. So, pick yourself up one. Very good. Pleiades. So Pleiades is a little weird in that it's the second Amalon sniper or Amalon scout in a row to get brought back. But I know they brought back all the future war cults, so it's just a result of like that. But yeah, really good. I just realized there's another hole for a bullet, but there's no barrel. It's kind of weird. Anyways, God roll, you know me, Hammer Forge for days. I'd go like extended subsistence, multi kill clip. No. I'm a doofus. I would go actually like just straight up. Now that I'm looking at this, I would probably go Hammer Forged. No, I would go appended, not extended. I just go probably like outlaw multi kill clip or outlaw, or sorry, surplus multi kill clip. Everything else is just kind of butt. So, Vision of Confluence. This is going to be an interesting one. So, Vision's a D1 weapon. Very, very classic weapon. I used to use this thing all the time in D1. Very good. It's a 180, just like Hung Jury. And I'm just going to say it. I wouldn't use this in GMs, personally. Now, there's a role of it I would use in GMs, obviously, but that's a more specific role. But just for general use, I wouldn't. But I'm a fair guy. I'll give you my GM, my Grandmaster God roll. Hammer Forge, appended. Actually, no, I would go. Sorry, Hammer Forge, extended, rewind rounds, disruption break, without a doubt. Get that bonus kinetic damage. Get swapped to your grenade launcher. Get that. By the time when you swap back to your scout, it's reloaded with the new mod. Do bonus damage. Very, very good perk. Very good perk. My PVE god roll or my non-GM god roll is just gonna be like rewind rounds, Firefly. Same magazine, same barrel. So definitely get your hands on a Vision. Very solid scout. I'm gonna have very fun with that. Very fun. A lot of fun. Your boy can't speak today. Next up is Found Verdict. Now, this is going to be a Crucible monster. I can already tell you, because it was in D1. But like I said, I'm not big on the Crucible, especially right now with Stasis. But PvE, it has some potential. So I'll give you my 2 PvE god rolls. So I would go, like honestly, I would go full choke, extended mag, big as it can go, rewind rounds, Vorpal for bosses. And then the entire same roll, I would just rock Frenzy instead for trash or majors. So that's Found Verdict. Really gonna enjoy that. Get yourself one. Sojourner's Tale. Oops. Whoa. Is that normal? Okay, that was weird. It's a precision slug. So basically, like first in, last out, except it's a worse first in, last out. So PvE God roll would have to be Hammer Forge, extended, auto loading, Frenzy. Anything else is meh. And even then, it's not as good as first and last out, because I can get auto loading Vorpal. So farm for this if you want. I'm not a big fan of it, but I mean, each their own. Next up, we have to decide. Yeah, this one's not really my type of deal. It's a 140, so it doesn't even do that good damage. I would just go for PvE. I would go full choke, extended, dual loader, Vorpal. Honestly, that's it. Yep. All right, we're getting to the end of the list here. Or at least I hope. Here we got D's left. Okay, so we'll kind of speed run the ones that I really don't care about. Vision, it's another Crucible centered one. Thing can get like okay perks. I mean, honestly, surplus one for all. Doesn't really matter. Extended mag, sights really don't matter. So get yourself a Vision. Very, very good weapon. For sidearm lovers, of course. For me, not so much. Occluded Finality. This is the Iron Banner Sniper. Honestly, 72s are good. I believe that's the Succession archetype, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember what Succession is off the top of my head. But some people already have this thing because Iron Banner bounties, am I right? For me, Hammer Forge, barrels don't really matter to me. I would go Extended, Auto, Vorpal. Just for boss melting. So, there you go. Next up, we got Uzumi, which is a D1 returning weapon, which everyone thought it was the Irene, but it wasn't. Plot twist. It was the Uzumi. See, the Irene was a 72 RPM. I do remember that. That was a slow firing, higher damage one. This is a 90 RPM. So, but this baby can roll some fun. So, my god roll for PVE boss DPS, definitely going to be Hammer Forge, Extended, Triple Tab, Vorpal. I mean, the same roll, only difference changing. Clown could work, depending on how much Clown overflows. It might give you that extra 3 bullets, which could be really good. But yeah, that's my god roll for this. Get yourself an Izumi when it's on rotation. Borrowed Time. I've actually been using this. It's actually really fun. I personally got a roll with Surplus and Adrenaline Junkie. Very, very fun SMG. So yeah, I would say for this SMG, honestly, the god roll for me would be like Hammer Forge, Extended Mag, Overflow, Frenzy, One for All, or Rampage. Very, very good. What do we got next? Shayura's Wrath. This just came out in trials yesterday. Super, super sweaty. Took me like all day to go flawless, but is what it is. This one doesn't have many good PVE rolls, but I would go, Extended Mag, Killing Wind, Kill Clip, or Adrenaline Junkie. Looks beautiful though. This weapon is damn sexy. I'll tell you that. Alright. Stochastic variable. Stochastic. So, as a longtime viewer of Aztecross, I can tell you, man, he stayed hard for this gun. And after getting it, I can see why. I have a roll with Phase Magazine, Feeding Frenzy, and Dragonfly, and it's actually really fun. Like this gun is really fun to play with. So, personally, my god roll for this one, I would actually go Hammer Forge, Phase Mag, Feeding Frenzy, Dragonfly. Just the AoE, man, it's insane. Since they buffed Dragonfly to happen more fast now, it's very, very, very fun. So, pick yourself up a Stochastic and have at it. What's next? Memory Interdict. Yeah, this one's not that impressive, to be honest. God roll, I would go Hard Launch, Spike, Autoloading, or Clown with like Danger Zone. Not that impressive though, all in all. So, what's next? Archon's Thunder. This is a new LMG from Iron Banner. Pretty cool looking. I like it. PVE. Straight up, I would just go Extended Mag, Surplus, Rampage. All the other perks are more PvP focused, so it is what it is. Sorry for yawning. Corrective measure. Vault of Glass LMG. This is the only time that I'll call a god roll that isn't just straight up reload perk versus damage. Well, it kind of is in a weird way. But, extended mag, hammer forged. I would go demolitionist, adrenaline junkie because they're going to synergize with each other. You're going to throw that grenade. You're going to get that grenade energy, and then you're going to throw it, reload, proc adrenaline, dump your mag, get your grenade back, and then the cycle will just go on as long as there's ads to kill. So get yourself a corrective measure when VOG comes out. Very good LMG. Shatter Cipher. It's a new LMG. For me, LMGs in general are in kind of a weird spot. Like, if it doesn't have reload plus damage, I won't use it, basically. But this one has some potential. I would go, honestly, Hammer Forge, Field Prep, Rampage. Straight up. So, get yourself a Shatter Cipher and see the profit. So, it's pretty good. All in all, of course. Last weapon. Yeah, okay. Hezen's Vengeance. So this is going to be another situation like with corrective measure. There's a very unique combination here. Straight up, my god roll is going to be hard launch. Where's is it? Hard launch, impact casing, overflow vorpal. Now you can't go overflow lasting if your damage phase isn't as tight, but vorpal is just going to be more consistent. So overflow vorpal, disgusting on a rocket. You get 2 shots. It's going to be fantastic. You're going to love it. So I believe that's the last weapon. So it took us about an hour. That is every weapon from Season of the Splicer. I hope you enjoyed watching my very first YouTube video. Go ahead and feel welcome to roast me in the YouTube comments. I'm new to this, so give me tips, advice, whatever you need. I'm going to be trying to do like uploads every 2 to 3-ish days at first, and then as I get more into it, I'll start uploading more and more. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope this gave you some insight on what roles you should be looking for this season. And, as they say, eyes up, Guardian. Have a good one.